Satisfactory progress as construction works continue taking steam across Boya Diocese. The Chief Shepherd, His Lordship Michael Bibi, has paid another evaluation visit to this site. Rural women in Boya celebrate the International Day of the Rural Woman today at the Independence Square with a call to create more women initiative groups. And Elite One site, Victoria United, has re-echoed its main objective of lifting the 2023-2024 Cup. Opopo, the president, had a press conference yesterday in Limbe. Those were the headlines for tonight's newscast. Their full developments will be yours in a moment. We take off tonight with projects in the Diocese of Boya. After a recent visit to the construction sites in the Diocese of Boya, His Lordship Michael Bibi says work is steadily improving at the various sites. Let's meet Father Martin J, who trade with the bishop on this day and report.
After his catechetical session Monday the 16th of October 2023, the Chief Shepherd of the Diocese of Boya, His Lordship Bishop Michael Bibi, decided to make a tour at the site of some major projects in the diocese with ongoing construction. That is, the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, Bishop Pius Our Memorial Pastoral Center, the Catholic University Institute of Boya, and to some diocesan institutions such as the Mount Mary Hospital and the Communication Service of the Diocese of Boya. At the Divine Mercy Cathedral, construction has been unfolding from one stage to the next, from roofing to the placement of windows, the tiling and provision of 4 sample benches which are provided for a proper choice to be made on the most suitable. With regard to the roofing, work has been in progress and just left with a few I's to dot and a few T's to cross. The tiling of the cathedral is commendable. The windows are beautifully placed and colorfully marked with the portraits of various saints. These attractive portraits not only connotate a sense of aesthetics, but they carry with them some spiritual symbolism. The portraits of the saintly figures can be conspicuously spotted at a distance over the walls of the Co-Cathedral. From the Divine Mercy Co-Cathedral, the bishop proceeded to the Bishop Pius Our Memorial Pastoral Center, where he moved from the first floor to the last. The prelate proceeded to the Catholic University Institute of Boya. He moved to Mount Mary Hospital and passed along the Mount Mary Hospital mortuary, recently constructed and already going operational. He got into the printing press and observed how engaged the various workers were. He equally moved into Divine Mercy Radio Television, whereby he got into the various units of operation in the media house. As the bishop took his tour alongside some priests and other faithful, some of the priests gave their remarks about the general impression pertaining to the tour of the bishop.
Just amazing to see the transformation, I normally try to come almost yearly, but I've really hardly taken time to go around during the day to look at what's happening in the diocese. And I'm really proud of the bishop with the workers and all of you, from the Divine Mercy. I see the radio everywhere, the TV, everything. The quality is just wonderful. And I see the pastoral center. I never knew it was that huge. And the cathedral is almost finished. I remember we launched the cathedral when I was a student in the Université Catholique d'Afrique Centrale. But now I see it in a different level. I think it's just amazing. I never even knew we have mortuary. I see it there, I see the X-ray center, and we cannot thank God enough, and all of you for supporting the Chief Shepherd to make the diocese what it's supposed to be.
Went to the Co-Cathedral, which is wonderfully coming up. The finishings are just so beautiful, and really marveled. I was really marveled for that. And then went down to the Wood Center, which is some great work. Little did I know that some what was going on in the diocese this way. And I think that Bishop Michael Bibi is doing his best to see to it that he prepares avenues for children especially, because the youth center is for young people, and that is the church of tomorrow. And to prepare a place where they'll be able to meet there for the meetings, go for activities, and also go for doctrine and continue to grow in faith. I think from there we came to the Kali University campus. I've never been there before. Today's my very first day to be there. And then we are here in Mount Mary Hospital. And the great thing that I've noticed here is the mortuary. Little did I know there was a beautiful mortuary here before, but now there's a mortuary. It's an indication that the diocese is actually growing, and all this thanks to the wonderful work of Bishop Michael Bibi.
Moving to these various project sites with ongoing construction and to some of these diocesan institutions, it is probable that the chief shepherd generally took back home a positive and satisfactory impression with the level and progress of work as per the infrastructural set-up and development in the Diocese of Buea.
Youths of Buea Deanery have conducted a free and fair elections to put in place those to lead the youth movement of that deanery for the next 3 years. The elections took place this Sunday, October 15, 2023, at the St. Anthony of Padua's Parish, Buea Town, with representatives from the various parishes that make up the deanery. Details and more in the following reports with Father Alphonse Ekema.
Following their constitution, youths from the 6 parishes that make up Buea Deanery gather at St. Anthony of Padua Parish Hall in Buea Town for their deanery ESCO elections in the presence of the deanery chaplain, Father Thierry Njime, and some representatives from the Diocesan Youth ESCO body to ensure free and fair elections. Talking with the chaplain on the nature of the elections, he mentions this.
We are here to conduct an election for the deanery to choose the new set of young people who are going to be the deanery. This is in response to the call of the bishop to ensure that we are all in step. So we had a notification from the Assistant Chaplain for the answer, and we in response here today are engaged in this activity of election. We have already begun the process, and we have had some leaders in some positions of responsibility. What has guided us here today has been the document that came from the St. Monica Youth Chaplaincy with regard to that, stating explicitly that those who are eligible at the deanery level are those who have been elected at the parish level. So all those executives at parish level are here from our 6 parishes.
The newly elected president of the youth movement in Buea Deanery outlined some key aspects he would like his administration to look into so as to breathe some freshness into the youth ministry of the deanery.
I am called Jarvis Michael, the newly elected president of Buea Deanery Youths, and today we are here for the elections in our deanery, and it's once again a pleasure that I've been re-elected this time as the president, and I'm so happy, and I feel happy and ready to be challenged or discouraged, right? Because the task is not an easy one, and I know with the help of my executives or the present ones, I know I can do a good job. And first thing, as a youth president, as a deanery president, my main mission now is, especially with the parish of Our Lady of Sorrows, Wanyalose, since it's just a new parish in the deanery, and my first plan of action, or my vision is to see that I can inculcate the zealness of the youth ministry from the youth, because I heard rumors that the youth are not maybe so used to the youth mission. My first plan is to see that I can bring them together and also make sure that from like past experience I can correct the mistakes I did as a vice president, and since I'm the president now, correct the little mistakes and make sure the youth there's a spirit of enthusiasm within the youth, and not just socially but spiritually to increase the levelness of the youth mission in Buea Deanery.
Representatives from St. Anthony of Padua Parish, Buea Town, St. Martin de Porres Parish, Bokwango, St. Teresa of the Child Jesus Parish, Mekongi, Regina Pacis Cathedral Parish, Small Sopo, Immaculate Conception Parish, Great Sopo, and Our Lady of Sorrows Parish, Wonaliose, which all make up Buea Deanery, participate in the elections, giving their contributions for the growth of the youth ministry in this area.
Let's remain in the youth ministry. Young Christian workers of the Moliko and Buea Deaneries, after a long struggle, have finally come to an amicable settlement following an incident that did arise or occur at the diocesan rally in 2019. The reconciliation meeting took place over the weekend here in Boya. Nadesh May was present during the meeting session and now reports.
For 4 years now, young Christian workers of Moliko and Boya deaneries have not been fully involved in diocesan activities like choral competition. This is because of an incident that occurred at the diocesan rally of the young Christian workers at St. Peter the Apostle Parish, Modeka, in 2019. To this youth group, a letter was issued preventing them from actively partaking in any diocesan activity of the church. Several attempts have been done to curb the situation, but all failed. According to the diocesan youth chaplain, Reverend Father Anselm Kebi, there have been a rift between these two deaneries and the diocese. Therefore, a peaceful resolution was essential to the young Christian workers to realize the fact of their fellowship with one another, especially as a group.
Is come together for the young Christian workers of Boya Deanery and Moliko Deanery, and with some of the ESCO members of the diocesan team. I think this meeting was to see how we can come to a peaceful resolution, to see how we can attain that goal and that peace and that fellowship, which is the aim of this group, the young Christian workers. So I think it has really been wonderful. I think we have made resolutions, and if those resolutions are being implemented and put in place, we think that everything will run smoothly.
It was a tough deliberation between these youth groups and their diocesan youth chaplain over issues affecting the youth ministry. At last, they finally came to a compromise. The young Christian workers were excited due to the positive outcome arrived at during the reconciliation meeting.
The long-awaited meeting we finally had, and I'm just so happy with the outcome because we are going back to the diocese. At last, this rift between Boya Deanery and the Boya Diocese, it has ended. So now we are looking forward to having a harmonious Deanery and diocese. In fact, a harmonious diocese with Boya Deanery being part of them, and we are so happy that the Lord's name has finally been glorified. Yes, with the decision of today.
Very, very happy for the meeting of today because we have been waiting for this. It has not been easy for us for these past 4 years. So I want to thank the youth chaplain, the diocesan youth chaplain, for this meeting, because since that today we have come to a conclusion, we are happy that might be the way forward is back. So I want to thank God for this day. I thank the bishop also for giving the chaplain the pressure to make this day successful.
After this, the young Christian workers of Moliko and Boya deaneries are expected to work with the diocese in love and harmony while anticipating for their youth rally.
To something else now. Royal women in Boya have been urged not to limit themselves just to agriculture, but to join women initiative groups so as to benefit from government assistance. The call was made by the sub-delegate of Women's Empowerment and the Family around Congo during the celebration of the International Day of the Royal Women this October 17, 2023. Sharon Sita attended the celebration and now reports.
At the Boya Independence Square, rural women from the nooks and crannies of Boya celebrate the International Day of the Rural Women. This day normally passed on Sunday, October 15, 2023, but commemorated year today. The International Day of Rural Women is aimed at recognizing the critical role and contribution of rural women, including indigenous women, in enhancing agricultural and rural development. Despite having these tasks, these women still face challenges which range from the lack of farm-to-market routes.
We have challenges of roads, as farm-to-market routes. In fact, when we go to the farm, we will not be able to carry our crops. We plant tomato and so many things. We cannot carry because we don't have roads. So actually, we are appealing to the government to come to our aid, to come and help us and create us roads so that we should be able to put our things in a vehicle and transport to the market.
The theme of this year's International Day of Rural Women is Green Economy. better production and processing to seize the opportunity of the African continental free trade. The sub-delegate for women's empowerment and the family, Arakongo, while shedding light on the theme, said the theme is timely in the African context because there is lack of free trade in Africa.
In Africa, it has been realized that we don't have the free trade area within our African continent, and that's why beginning from the Day of the African Woman and today, Rural Women's Day, the ministry thought it wise to hammer on that aspect of free trade in our area, because if women don't have the possibility of trading freely, the fallout from their green economy will not do anything, will not be able to plow back into the family. There will be a lot of wastes. It means that their energy and time is being wasted for nothing.
Celebration saw the exhibition of various farm produce like vegetables, cocoyams, amongst others, produced by the rural women. After going round the various exhibition stands, the sub-delegates used this opportunity to urge the women not to depend solely on agriculture, but to join women initiative groups so as to receive assistance from the government.
Women should not limit themselves to doing, they think that when they do farming, they feed the family, they sell leftovers. Women should come on board. We will direct them, we will help them, we will partner with Minadare to be able to create women common initiative groups that will be able to benefit from the largesse of the government.
The day wrapped up with the rural women going back home with some farming tools donated to them to assist in carrying out their agricultural activities.
In our international news today, the governments of Ghana and South Africa reached a visa waiver agreement to allow citizens of both countries to travel visa-free, while the United Nations World Food Programme warns Gaza for running low on food as well as other essential supplies as the war heightens in that particular place. And former U.S. President pledges to expel immigrants who support Hamas if he gets re-elected. Details on this with Laura Asongani.
We begin in Africa, where the government of Ghana and South Africa has reached a visa waiver agreement to allow citizens for both countries to travel visa-free. This was made known by Ghana's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration in a post uploaded on X, former Twitter. It said both countries have entered in an agreement on a visa waiver regime for holders of ordinary passports. Travelers may transit through, depart from, and stay in the territory of both countries for a cumulative period of up to 40 days without recourse to work. And this agreement takes effect from the 1st of November. Worthy of note is South Africa also reached a similar agreement with Kenya in January. South Africa is Africa's second largest economy after Nigeria in Africa, but the two African giants have no such visa waiver agreement. Out of Africa, more than 1 million people have fled their homes in the Gaza Strip ahead of an expected Israel invasion that seeks to eliminate Hamas leadership after its deadly incursion. The war that began on Saturday, October 7, has become the deadliest of 5 Gaza wars for both sides, with more than 4,000 people dead. In addition to their water shortages, the United Nations World Food Programme has warned that Gaza is running out of food stocks with only a few days' worth of supplies remaining in shops. According to Abie Etefa, the spokeswoman for the World Food Programme, shops only have 4 or 5 days' worth of essential food stocks available, and there are difficulties in accessing this food in warehouses because they are located in Gaza City, where Israel has ordered residents to evacuate with constant bombardment. However, the U.S. President Joe Biden is set to make an extraordinary wartime visit to Israel tomorrow, Wednesday, as he seeks to demonstrate staunch support for the country. Still on the Israel-Hamas war, former America's President Donald Trump has promised that if re-elected president, he will bar immigrants who support Hamas from entering the U.S. and send officers to pro-Hamas protests to arrest and deport immigrants who publicly support the Palestinian militant group. On a campaign show in Iowa, Trump responded to the Hamas killing of at least 1,300 Israelis that triggered a war in which Palestinian health officials say Israel has killed more than 2,800 Palestinians in Gaza.
The Hamas terrorist invasion of Israeli territory, and the murder of Israeli soldiers today, and the brutal murder of citizens is an act of savagery that must and will be crushed. It has to be dealt with very powerfully. This is a time where the United States needs leadership. We don't have leadership. But Israel is at war, and the United States obviously is going to stick with Israel.
Trump, president from 2017 to 2021, says that if elected to a second White House term, he will ban entry to the U.S. of anybody who does not believe in Israel's right to exist, and revoke the visas of foreign students who are anti-Semitic. Many of Trump's immigration policies were challenged in court during his presidency, and his newest pledges could also face challenges. A ban he imposed on immigrants from some Muslim-majority nations was struck down in lower court, but ultimately upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court. However, Biden ended the ban when he took office.
In sports, the president of Victoria United FC, Mr. Nkwine Valentine, alias Bob Didi, has reassured supporters of the Opopo that the club's main objective still remains to lift up the trophy of the 2022-2024 MTN Elite One Soccer Jamboree. This was during a press briefing held at the club's headquarters in Geme, Limbe, yesterday, Monday, October 16, 2023. Hillary Clinton was part of the briefing and gives us details in this report.
At the invitation of the president of Victoria United, alias Opopo, journalists from different media stations came from far and near for a press briefing pertaining the current situation of the Limbe Bears Club. The invitation was concerned in a press release signed by the Director of Communication of the club, Elvis Khan, as the media men gathered at the conference room of the club's headquarters in Geme, Limbe. The president, Kwan Valentine, began the press briefing by narrating his involvement in Opopo.
When the team was few days to be dissolved, as no one was ready to register the team. My good friend, De Van Persie, was the manager then. I said to myself, the pride of Limbe cannot be dissolved when I'm alive. This is how I got involved in the Victoria United Football Club.
Pondering on the current situation of the club as to the two consecutive defeats recorded in the ongoing MTN Elite One Soccer Jamboree, Mr. Kwan Valentine, popularly referred to as Bob Didi, reassured the supporters that the team's pivotal objective this 2023-2024 football season remain lifting up the top-tier trophy as champions. This, he said, winning and losing are part of the game.
Losing and winning are part of the game, but the most important thing is that we know how to play the game. We want to assure the supporter that there is nothing to be afraid. Victoria United Football Club will be the 2023-2024 Cameroon Elite One champion.
Bob Didi also lauded his passion for football and debunked the conception of him interfering in the job description of the team's coach. He went further to say the club have coaches who are one of the best and that Victoria United remain one of the most organized football clubs. The president of the 2022-2023 MTN Elite 2 champions used the press briefing to reveal some innovations of the club. According to him, the innovations are aimed at making the club achieve the same professional status as teams in Europe, and we are in line with the prescriptions set by the Cameroon Football Federation, FECAFOOT.
We are announcing that the nearest future, viewers of our social media handles will need to subscribe to gain access. I am doing all it takes for the team to attain the professional status of teams in Europe, and gradually we shall reach there. In this respect, we shall be unveiling our new official kit sponsor of the team in the days ahead. As prescribed by FECAFOOT text, which we respect scrupulously, our female team and the cadet team are in the build-up and shall be presented to the public when it is time.
It's worth noting that Victoria United is currently ranked 4th in Pool B, having earned 3 points with 1 victory and 2 defeats. However, the supporters remain steadfast in seeing that the club emerges champions of the 2023-2024 MTN Elite 1 Soccer Jamboree.
In a second friendly international encounter during the October break, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon lost against the Lions of Senegal in France. The duel was intense as both sides made strides to emerge victorious. An early goal that was scored during the first half by Sadio Mane was maintained to the very end of the match. John Philip Wanla watched the game and brings to us details in this report.
The indomitable Lions, in their second international break in October 2023, lost again. This was on the 16th of October at the Bollard Delis Stadium in Lens, France, where both the Lions of Senegal and Cameroon had a clash. At the early moments of the game, following an outing from the goalpost, Sadio Mane, in an unsuccessful attempt, tried to catch Onana off guard. Later, following some excellent actions from Sadio Mane, saw a curtain that was lost by Habib Diallo. Further, in a cross-in from Castelletto at the right-hand flank, led to some confusion between Mendy and Koulibaly that was headed out to the dismay of Abubakar. Following a foul on the left flank at the 32nd minute that led to a free kick, the Cameroonian defender Omar Gonzalez fouls Koulibaly, earning him a yellow card and a penalty against Cameroon. Sadio Mane takes the spot kick, beating Onana. 1-0 in favor of Senegal. Vincent Abubakar at the 46th minute claims a